So yesterday I made a post saying, I don't care how you make your money, but if you want to protect your purchasing power, you need to be storing it in Bitcoin. And I feel like some people got offended because I said stocks won't help you, real estate won't help you, and neither will bonds. But people really got offended at the real estate part. So let's do some math. I'm gonna show you guys how purchasing power works using real estate and Bitcoin. All right, so pay attention. So in 2019, so 6 years ago, in the GTA, you could buy a house for about 820 grand. Fast forward to today, in 2025, that same house is selling for about $1.2 million. All right, that's an increase of about 46%. Right, not bad. Cool. So now let's look at Bitcoin. Right, in 2019, Bitcoin was $10,000. Right. Fast forward to 2025, Bitcoin is sitting at $110,000. That's an increase of 1,000%. So if you had bought a house in 2019 for $820,000, and instead of buying that house, you put that $820,000 into Bitcoin, instead of having only 1.2 million today, you'd have about $9 million today, right? That's what I'm talking about, purchasing power, right? So even if you decided to sell your house, it's not like you could buy two houses, right? If you bought the house for 820K, sold for 1.2 million, right? The average price of a house is 1.2 million, right? Your purchasing power didn't increase. You could only still buy about one house. But if you had bought Bitcoin instead, not only could you buy that house, you could probably buy 5 or 6 others. See, I'm not saying that real estate is bad. Not by any means. Real estate is still a solid, tangible asset that if you feel like it works for you, by all means buy it. But if we're talking numbers, if we're talking about outpacing inflation, there is no comparison. There is no competition, right? Bitcoin massively outpaced inflation and massively outperformed real estate in that 6-year period. When I invest my money somewhere, it's not just to put it somewhere for it to chill. All right, the whole goal is to multiply it. That's why it's called finding your multiplier. You want your wealth to multiply, right? You want growth, right? So when it comes to outpacing inflation and growing your wealth, Bitcoin is the best solution that we have. See, the big idea I'm trying to convey here is that purchasing power is not just about how much money you have, but it's about what your money could buy. I hope this makes sense to somebody. If it does, like it and share it. Love.